Okay, I've come into Go Outdoors to get a lantern. I thought I'd have a quick look at tents while I'm here. Really shouldn't, I know better. The prices are coming down massively, which is great. So if you're looking for a tent at the moment, there are certainly some good deals to be had. And I'm actually going to go outside. Probably shouldn't do. And have a quick look at what's out there and see what's new this season. So let's head out. Oh, it's good to stay out there. Right, the only tent I'm looking for is one that is easy to go up that I can stand in. So this is what I have. This is one I love that you have seen many reviews of from me. Still love it. Can't go wrong. Quite a variety of sort of hiking type tents, which again, I've got my one. I'm sure we'll see it as we go round, in which case I'll point it out. That's quite a nice compromise. There's quite a lot of room in that. Oh, yeah, but not very long. Okay, so you actually have to have your feet out into the front section, really. So that's Kansas 3. Pop up. This is similar to the little pop-up I've got, but not as nice, hasn't got a front section. And a very cheap price, but you're getting what you pay for. If you're only going to be away one night, that will likely do you. Let's carry on looking around. Air awnings. Again, come down in price quite a lot. I reviewed my one. Loved it, but not the easiest to drive up to on your own, and I found it didn't give me a lot more and took nearly as long to put up as my big tent, so I opted for the big tent instead. Genus 400 low air, I like that for one night away. That would be really sensible, but again, it's going to take you nearly as long to put up as a large tent, in which case it might as well take a large one. But you've got a decent amount of room in there for the dogs. Could put the loo in this section. Decent bedroom with blackout. Okay, £159. I will bear that one in mind. What else have we got here? High Gear Lavoo Light. Not one I know. Not an air beam. But look at that for space. And I'd imagine there's probably a bedroom that you can put in that. So for taller people. Oh, okay, it's a combination. We have got air beams at the back here and a pole just across that front section. That's really quite nice. I've got a cousin and his family looking, and that is a really nice compromise. Okay, one to think about. What have we got here? Adhara 700. It is what it is. Different layout to the air beam, similar ones. Which can suit some people, not suit everyone. This front section really is useful, and not being air beam, it hasn't actually taken up much extra in the way of weight. If this is something that had been around when I was looking, I would have considered that actually, because that front section makes quite a difference. I really quite like the design of that one. £399, but it is. Hold on, let's have a look. Yeah, no, it is all poled, which is why I didn't go for it. But yeah, nice looking tent, decent amount of room for the price. Air 6XL Berkhouse. Gorgeous tent. You're basically taking your whole family away with this one. Air beam. Loads of room. Really decent quality fabric. That's what you're paying for the extra for. That is really nice fabric, but with that comes weight, and that seems to be one of the common sort of themes, that you get a lot heavier with this. Right, let's come down this section so I don't miss them out. Particle 2-man bivvy, poled and proper poles. Okay, we've got 1-man bivvy as well. So nice proper poles, nice fixings, easy. You haven't got the silly fiberglass ones that all of you know I'm not a fan of. I'm 5'4.5". I can nearly stand up in here. It would be really useful to actually be able to get dressed and things. So that's a nice sort of option. Yeah, I quite like those. Another polled with Hara 300. Wouldn't achieve anything for me, but for some people that's going to be a really nice option. Euro hike I don't really know. Flimsier, from what I do know, they've got the carbon rod poles that I'm not a fan of. So yeah, not really for me. But then you look at that price, it's definitely the right tent for someone, isn't it? If you're not going to be using it particularly often, why not? There's a lot of room in that and a really good price. Let's carry on round. Telstar Giant. So, Telstar 5 Nightfall. Let's step back here so we can have a proper look at it. That's one big tent. That you've really got to think about how much camping you're doing. It is a very good quality tent. Again, people rave about it, but similarly, it puts some people off life because of the amount of time and effort it takes to put up. I think the tent itself isn't that bad, but when you start getting into this, people tend to go the all out with sofas, etc. You have got the air beams on the front section, so again, you're adding weight there. But a really nice tent. Fabric's nowhere near the quality of the Air XL over there. Idler 600. So their version of the Berghaus 600. Much lesser price. Very similar tent from what I can tell. Wider front door. Side door, which is one I like to use. Nightfall. Yeah, that's a nice tent. In all honesty, I'd have to take the two away to know what the difference was with them. Seams on the fittings aren't quite as good, but on that looks pretty good. So this side, the Air Eclipse, the Nobia Air Eclipse, high gear again, air beam tent, very large. Again, you're talking a whole family in this one. With bedrooms at either end, which some people like, some people not so keen on. Plenty of room in the middle for a sofa, table, anything else you want in here, or just for dogs to chill out, kids to play. Really nice tent. Not the fabric of the one we saw earlier, of the Berghaus Air 6, but really good option, and at $449, that's a great price. Okay, Horizon 400 Nightfall, side door with canopy, lovely large area at the front here, sold as seen. Okay, $349, so that is a one-off. That could be a real bargain for someone. Yeah, nice tent, good price, worth a look at. Utility tent is what it is. Genus Air 800. So this is the cheaper version, the Euro hike version. I don't think they look as nice, and the material is definitely way flimsier. What that does do is make it a lot lighter. So it means you can get a bigger tent, lighter weight. Not Nightfall. Actually not bad, but not Nightfall. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the design personally, but that's just me, and that's more going on looks in fairness. Good price. Yeah, I know having the valve side like that isn't ideal for inflating, and again the ends they just don't look nice. They don't look as if they sit well. Yeah, not the one for me. Berghaus Adara Air, which a few people got confused recently. The Adaras, I'm sure, used to just be pole tents, but they now do the air version. I'm not quite sure what the difference is, but that's a really good price, $4.99. Lovely large section out here. Certainly pop your bikes in and things. Outdoor wear. Again, we've got the main bedrooms at the back and a bedroom pod, which I assume is included or they wouldn't have it set up. The Berghaus do have good quality bags, I will say, having put mine in and out so often. They are really good quality. You can see what I mean about the feet on the beams compared to the Eurohike that we looked at. They just sit better. They sit better, you pull them out and they're just there. And it's better quality material. Sold as seen, the only one. Actually, that's looking quite a state, I think. But then £300. Okay, so if there's nothing fundamentally wrong with it, it just needs a really good clean up for someone, that will provide to be a really good tent. But it has faded, it is pretty messy, it is a good price. Original members price $649, this one's $300. Bedrooms both ends. I don't like the feel of those beams. I'd hope they'd give you new beams with it, but yeah, an option for someone. Now that I like as a utility tent, loads of room, decent price, but you will, is it poled? Yeah, so proper poles rather than the fiberglass ones, which I struggle with on my one. So that's a nice feature. And actually, that could possibly work on the back of the van. Definitely something to think about. I quite like that, but that one you are more likely to be charged extra on sites, so it's worth bearing in mind because it is effectively another tent. What have we got here? Freedom 5 Nightfall, 900. Quite a different looking tent. Although we're coming in from the front, which has been opened up. That is masses of room at the front there. Wow. So if you've got someone who likes sleeping in a cooler area, you've got that. You could easily put a carpet down, tarpaulin, make that usable, really, well, far more usable. But then you've got this sort of middle section, very usable, lovely big windows, really good visibility. Again, these lovely quality beams. That's very nice. Yeah, very nice tent. Big. That folded up, you've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think probably 5. Let's have a look from the outside. 5 beams. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 beams either side. That's going to be a heavy tent, but it will take your whole family. I like this. So my first tent, for those of you who don't know me, was when I was 10 or 11, ready to move out the caravan and have a friend sort of going away camping with us. I like poles. They're much quicker and easier to put up than the fiberglass and elastic things. But the downside is they can be bent in the wind. That's really nice. So just a nice, honest frame tent. Bedroom at the back with nightfall. Very large living section. Yeah, nice. Now we come to backpacking tents. So I've got the OX Raccoon, which I'm hoping, I can't actually see it here. So we've got various of the OX, which are their own brand and have a really good reputation. I love mine, many other people love them. Very good prices, you're talking sort of under £100 for a wide variety of 1 and 2 man tents. Van Gogh seems to be next sort of step up. Got a little variety of those. What's this one here? Berghaus Cairngorm, that's nice. Yeah. Looks quite long, like that. Coyote 3. So that's basically the bigger version of what I've got. I did look at it because you can get the dogs in the front, but weight wise it was a lot more than my Raccoon. So if I am actually out backpacking, I can't take the extra weight on my back. But for some people, particularly if you could divide that tent between 2 rucksacks, that would be a brilliant option. Another birdhouse at back there, different design, but nice and high. My spec was that I had to be able to sit up in mine. That one, you really sort of stand quite tall. Harbour X, not one I know. Judging by the price, I assume it is a very good quality one, which is probably why I don't know it. It's out my price range and out my style. But very nice. Looks easy to put up. And lastly, oh, not quite lastly, the OX Bandicoot. Now the downside of my OX is you have to put the inner up first and then the outer over top, which is fine in great weather. It's not so good in bad weather. And it is definitely worth bearing in mind when you're looking. Right, so that is the Adhara as I think of it, the birdhouse with the poles. And so these are poles, not rods and carbon fibre, but they're not particularly sort of strong, heavyweight ones. Nothing like the quality of the tent we were looking at over there. 249, good price, big tent, does the job. Icarus, Vango Icarus, not one I know. Are we poled? Yeah, similar designs to the one we've just looked at. So the flimsy style of poles, nice big open space. It is what it is. So this is more a shelter. This is not one you're going to be sleeping in. You could, there's nothing to stop you, but there's nothing on the floor there, and the price reflects that. But if you're going away as a couple of families and you want some outdoor space, what a great sort of place. You can leave your kids sleeping in the tent and you can use this to sit and chill in the evening. Perfect. So Rydal 500, very similar to the two we've just looked at. The poles, very good price, 149 for a 4-man tent. It's 500, but realistically it's a 4-man tent. You haven't got blackout. Got plenty of room in there. Is there a side door as well? Yeah, you've got a side door as well. Again, wouldn't be for me, but if you're only going away a couple of times a year, perfect. Air shelter. So the air version of that one. Quick, easy to put up. Very good quality. In the trade that would be right. And even for sort of dog competition things, that would be a really good addition. That's the version, same thing. Quite like the mesh. Keep it a lot cooler. So a lot less price. You've just got holes in. And that is up. We've had a good round. Oh, we didn't look at the teeth. Last of all, kept looking at this. It is genuinely easy to put up. This big thing for me, couldn't it? Yeah, TP. Do you think I should get these? Try out. Let me. Can't even door in. This could be in. Okay, the mic on my phone lost the plot momentarily, but I came on into Go Outdoors and it was interesting to see there were quite a lot of tents inside that I hadn't seen outside. So this bell tent, this wasn't up on display, and there were a few others as well. The Vortex Light Hub, we had seen that one I think. This one we hadn't, but this is the air beam version. So we'd seen the pole version, the one I spoke about, probably get a bedroom being available for it, but we hadn't seen that air beam version. So yeah, there's the pole version up there. And this is why it's particularly important. Go back indoors and have a little look at what they actually have on the shelves as well. Don't just rely on the display. I've not seen this before. Brilliant. So full display of what's available. Photos and basics up there, and then a little book down here going into the details of the tent so you can compare them all. Really great idea to have that there, and then you can see the specs of the tent you've just looked around, and also know to ask about anything if you can't see it and you think you should do. Yeah, that was a really neat idea. I was impressed with that. So happy camping everyone. Let me know how you get on, and look out for a review of a teepee. I couldn't resist.